You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Ready? Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 120.
Man, one dub, man. This is your boy Ralphie J, like Juicy J, 3-6 Mafia Collective. They made me do this. Trust me, we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, we definitely gonna get into that. If you are a new listener, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there. Get your OS merch, baby.
Merch. And if you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter, I'm JON 2_ the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Ralph, my guy. Another week, man.
Another week down, another week back, man. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was I fought I don't know if you could tell last week, but I had like the sniffles a little bit while we were recording. And that kind of developed into a cold.
Okay.
I went to see Thundercat here in St. Louis on Tuesday. It was actually really good. Like he's a very talented guitar player.
What venue was it?
The pageant.
Okay.
It was at the pageant.
Okay.
Yeah. So fire concert. It was him. So he's an artist, but he also plays the guitar. So he played the guitar most of the time, but he also had songs where he like sings.
No doubt,
Yeah.
So, I got you.
Fire. His drummer though. Nah, he that man deserves a raise. I don't know, whatever they pay him, they need to double it for that night.
Okay,
nah,
I got you.
he went crazy. So overall, fire concert.
Okay.
But I think being outside and not being like, I guess, bundled up like I should have been because it was a little cold that day. I think that kind of sped up the cold process. So just a lot of herbs, a lot of tea, a lot of orange juice, and rest. And I'm back now. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I actually went to see Carlos Miller last night at 85
right.
South and Wild 'N Out fame.
Nice.
Really good show. Really good set, man. It's just, when I like to call them the element, when the element is present, man, it's a lot. It takes a lot. So it took a lot for me to like really kind of enjoy the show in a sense.
Got you.
It was a lot of hecklers, like, people that don't, hecklers happen in any sense. So, put that out there. But when the element is present, it's a different type of heckle. Like it's different.
By element, what do you mean? Let me make sure I understand what you're saying.
Niggas.
I was trying. Okay. No, I was thinking marijuana. I was
no. When the element is
present. Gotcha. Okay. Say less.
Like,
say less.
Say
less.
Like,
man, I'm trying to enjoy it.
Because when you overly heckle, like it's one thing you laughing too loud. He gotta roast you to get you to chill.
Yeah.
It's just when you constantly are talking, like it's like you're having a conversation with him. Like, no, he didn't come here to talk.
He came here to perform.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I meant. So the element was very present. So and like honestly, like I'm with friends. I'm with my wife. So I'm comfortable, but I'm not comfortable. Hey man, I don't know what's going on in here. It's too many people.
No, yeah.
I just need, and then they made sure they packed everybody in this room.
Damn.
Because you've been to Helium.
Oh, yeah, I've been
been, like, no, I'm just saying, I know you've been there. So it's not a big place.
Right.
And you constantly, like, you put.
They trying to make up from the COVID numbers.
Man.
That's crazy.
So it was just like, but no, the show was great. His set was great. And special shout out to Willie Lynch Jr. He's from East St. Louis, Illinois. He's a comedian. He actually was the one who, he was the MC
Okay.
You know, so he
Okay,
did the
cool.
warm-up set, getting the
Nice.
crowd hype, and then he brought out everybody. And then another guy, Reggie Kush, who we discussed off air. You know,
Yeah.
he battle raps, he's a comedian. Very, very, very
He cold.
funny.
He cold at both.
Yeah, and man, one thing I hate, this is, you know, me and you talking, but obviously the listeners are here. Like, I have to learn how to network better more when I'm in those spaces. But I was just so agitated by the element.
I feel that. I feel that.
So the element
That's
was
a real
present.
thing.
So I like Reggie Kush. I could have beeline right to him after the show and just holler at him. I know he probably came on the show because I'm a fan of what he does. I think he's dope and he's getting ready to take off.
Yeah. Because he's been bubbling in the city.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those ones. I don't think Carlos is sticking around. He's like,
nah, let me do this show. I'm out of here. Because they 85 South was on tour actually. So I don't know if they got like another tour date coming up or what. But I know he be in and out of these small markets. The smaller markets.
So he came here, did his numbers, and then I think he has another show tonight at 7, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So nah, man. Shout out to those comedians. Everybody did their thing up there last night. It was hilarious.
That's what's up.
But no, we gotta address this, man. We cannot speed past this. We cannot get off the dome first. We gotta.
There's
smoke. It's not smoke. It's not smoke. Okay. Because you know, clearly we're the ones.
I'm jumping ahead.
No, clearly we're the ones getting smoked.
Yeah.
I just want to address this, right? Our YouTube video where we did the Verzuz predictions. People that listen to the audio, you know, people chimed in about especially the 360 commentary. Because the 360 commentary was so spirited. On my end.
My man let go of the whole clip. The whole clip was
my end. So I can understand why there's such strong reactions.
Yeah.
But the YouTube comments are nasty.
Yeah, it's getting wilder there. It's getting wilder there.
Like all I could do is just say, God bless. Right. Like I got nothing for you. Bro.
Respect. Like thank you for watching.
And I was like, thank you for listening. Thank you for your comment. But I still disagree.
I mean, and it's the thing is, so this is the most dislikes we ever got on the video ever.
Oh, haven't even looked at it.
I mean, listen, I've been looking at this shit almost daily, just because I'm so fascinated by the dissertations people are putting in these comments. Like one individual actually put Bone Thugs and Harmony's like entire catalog. I'm talking as a group and solo, just to say, you know,
you guys are bugging. Yeah.
Like, which is cool, but it's like, wow, like people really going in. Now, I don't know if he copied it off Wikipedia or what, but still.
It doesn't matter. Bone stands are like ridiculously wild, but everybody has a stand base. And even in my commentary, like, these are people that don't listen, so they don't understand that there was definitely sarcasm. Yeah, but still, I still think 3-6 wins clearly. Like, don't ever get that twisted. I'm still standing on that. And then I'll be honest. I even said in the comments, if it comes to that, we'll talk about it after the fact. We're men. We can stand up and say we're wrong.
Oh, of course, we do it all the time.
We do it all the time. But again, you guys are new.
About to say exactly. These are people.
And this is the funny thing about it, right? Just kind of looking at it from our perspective. We're low-level podcasters to whoever. Right. So we never really had this type of attention before. So it's kind of like, I've talked this type of shit before. You've talked this type of shit before. So now it's kind of like everybody's catching up.
Right, exactly.
So that's what makes it weird. I was like, hold on, man. Like, I have way worse takes or way better ways of, you know, just articulating my points on certain things. But this is the one.
Hey, man. But again, like a lot of 99% of the people that have commented on that video are not subscribers. So it's like they don't really know about you and I. Yeah. And it's just a 6.5 minute clip of us talking about the verses. So like that's all they know of us.
Right.
That's all they know.
At this point, the last time I checked, that clip was like a little bit under 500 views.
That's
insane. That's a lot for us.
That's our highest viewed video.
Yeah.
Which I'm grateful for. Turn up.
Right, because
just wait for the recap.
Think about like this in a broader spectrum, right? Whoever you think the top podcasters are, Joe Budden, Joe Rogan, sports talking heads, things like that, they get it wrong all the time. They say things crazily all the time.
And then the great ones come back the next pod or next week later and apologize. I'm they come on. I was tripping. You know, they apologize, they acknowledge their mistakes, and they move forward.
Mhm.
We've done the same thing here.
I'm still standing.
So I mean, it is what it is. Listen, I can't wait for it. I'm gonna actually pay the little $3 on Triller so I can watch this shit. So it's lit. Cause we gotta come back with the
Oh no.
Listen, I can't wait.
We need to come down come back with the scorecard for them. Like put it right here.
Right.
we go digitally put it right here. And you know what's so funny? Real quick before we get off of this, somebody actually commented on the
art.
Yeah, on the artwork. It's only one thing. It's one comment that's good.
That's fine. Only one comment that's good, or one comment in general.
No, I'm just saying. Well, from what I've seen, they commented and they said this was nice.
Well, thank you.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I appreciate it.
See,
it's the aesthetic. It's the aesthetic. Nah, but thank you. If y'all watching on YouTube right now, what y'all think about what we got back here? We got the hip hop, we got the nerd shit back here. So let us know what y'all think.
They don't care.
Okay, never mind. I do. I think it looks great.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah,
but still,
they don't care. They don't care. They just want to hear these takes so they can get their essays off in the damn comments. That's what they want to hear.
Type the whole thesis.
Fam.
I was like, hey, my pal.
Like, fam.
Hey, at the end of all that, them songs that you think are basic are gonna work. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. You know what? We off that because we got a lot. Off
the dome. That's fucking hilarious.
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go first. Many times people are in groups with a rap superstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these groups often work, and sometimes they don't. Give me a person that you would not be in a group with, and why?
And this has to be like an actual artist.
Yeah,
one person I wouldn't.
Like you wouldn't be in a group with. Because you don't think it'll work. Just track record, music, whatever your reasoning is.
Got you. All right. So this off the dome. So the first person that came to mind, Joe Budden.
Oh wow.
Now,
okay.
Joe Budden is one of my personal favorite rappers, like ever of all time. But from what I've seen from his music career, things don't tend to end well. Like you're in the industry. You get a couple albums off, but for whatever reason, things don't tend to end right. Yeah. So like that Glass House album, which would have been their second album on Shady, which was going to be more of them with better production. The album never came out because, and I don't know specifically, what went on with the group, but a lot of the issues stemmed from Joe Budden, maybe the contract, or maybe he wasn't working well with the producers or Eminem or whatever it was. Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs. I just know he was part of the reason that album never came out.
He's the common denominator and whatever's going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and I mean, at some of that stuff even spilled over into his podcast career as well with Rory and Mal. We all saw that fall out. We ain't got to get into it, but things tend to not end well when Joe Budden is in the mix.
Gotcha.
For other people.
Now, I will say this answer, right? These groups have been mildly successful, but I just don't think that, honestly, they may have been worth the time. But, they still have fan bases because of this lead artist. And I'm going to use Snoop Dogg as my answer.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg has two groups that I am aware of.
Okay, there you go.
Eastsiders and 213. Now, Eastsiders, but I forget the two brothers' names, but they was Crip. Crip.
Right.
But and then you have 213 that was Nate Dogg and Warren G.
Okay, I remember that.
Now it's kind of like with Snoop, it's kind of like he's such a big star and he was bigger stars than anybody in the group. I don't know if that was the reason why it didn't last. Some of the music was okay and it did stick. Maybe it's just maybe a regional thing, and I'm just not hip because I'm not West Coast in that way. Like I wasn't immersed into Eastside albums. Right. I wasn't immersed into 213 albums. I've heard some of their music, but I just haven't said like, oh, I'm going to. It wasn't mainstream enough for me to go say I'm gonna buy this.
Right. Understood.
Because some stuff is just so regional. It's just like, hey, it is what it is. But I think Snoop has been such of an icon, such of a star that he just overpowers people that he's in groups with. And I never seen anybody really match him as far as like being in a group. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say you should have to, but it's just like, I don't know if I would want to be in a group with Snoop.
So do you think Mount Westmore is going to work?
Well, I mean, those are... Actually, I do like the one single.
That's what I'm saying. She was all right.
But I mean, you're talking about Q40 and Too Short, though. Not Trey Loken.
Right.
No, for real. Like, I'm respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want the East Siders coming down.
Look.
I don't want the
Yeah,
crip. I don't want. No, I'm sorry. Respect.
Facts.
No problems.
Facts. Super respect.
But no, that's just who I think I would kind of shy away from being in a group with Snoop.
Okay.
So,
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. All right. So for my off the dome, you get to choose one or the other, right?
Okay.
Would you want to go back to being 10 years old with all of the knowledge you have now, or would you want to skip to age 45 with $50 million?
45 or 50 easily.
Okay.
Easily. I think I can still have the knowledge and still things have to shake a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'll just be on some Back to the Future and I got this sports almanac and I'm just do it that way. But I think I lived enough. I think that my life up until this point was everything that it should have been.
Gotcha. I'm not mad at that.
So if you can just fast forward me, another 9 years and give me 50 M's, I'm cool with that.
The rest of the life was taken care of.
I'm cool with that, baby.
Not mad at it.
Like, we ain't gotta spend the block. We ain't gotta go back through this because hey, if anybody listens, y'all know my personal journey. Yeah. We ain't gotta go back through that. Yeah. But you give me 45. I mean, I get to 45 and I get 50. No, I'm cool with the 50. Okay, that's me.
Okay, I'm not mad from your perspective. I am not mad at that logic now. Because this is something I've sat and thought about.
Yeah, you got
now.
Yeah.
I think I would go back to being 10 years old. One, again, I feel how you feel. Like, everything in my life up to this point has happened the way it's supposed to happen. Like, I feel that. I feel that. But I feel like if I could go back with the knowledge I have now and make certain situations better, not necessarily saying change the trajectory of everything that's happened in my life, but in high school, right? I worked at McDonald's, so I'm making a little change. The minimum wage back then was trash, but anyway, I was still making my own money, right? Not really saving like I probably should have. But if I could go back to that time and actually figure out a way to put $200-$300 down on Amazon in the stock market or something like that, and just let it sit for 10-15 years, I would be a millionaire now. Billionaire now. So it's just certain things like that, and knowing that certain situations between my friends and family will come up, if a breakup is coming up, I would be better equipped to handle it and help them through that journey. So that's why I say I would go back to being 10 years old. But again, I'm not mad at the 45 with 50 years. I'm not mad at that at all. But I guess it would be a circumstance type of thing, depending on the individual's journey. So I understand your answer.
Yeah. But no, that was off the dome, people. If you could not be in a group with a rapper, who would it be and why?
Yep. And then if you would you choose going back to being 10 years old with all the knowledge you have now, or skipping ahead to age 45 with $50 million? Let us know.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of serious topics on this docket this week, right? I'm torn on where I want to start. Where do you think?
First, did you watch the Verzuz with Stephanie Mills and? No,
I didn't get a chance because they put up the paywall and I didn't feel like grabbing a debit card or something.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, no. All right. Guess we won't start there. Okay. I just wanted to see if you watched it because then we could couple minutes.
I got you. No, I didn't. I'm pretty sure the bootleg is on Twitter. on YouTube. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I actually watched it live on YouTube. Somebody was live streaming. So that's how I watched it. I do want to say, first of all, shout out to Stephanie Mills because she carried the entire Verzuz. But whatever Shaka Khan was on that night, I need two of them. I need two of them.
And I had a feeling.
But look though,
because I think our good friend of the show, Kelly, she went to see Shaka and she was pissed.
Oh, was she?
This was some years back. I just remember her rant.
Oh no, I remember that. No, I remember that. Ooh. Now, I'm only saying Stephanie Mills carried it because I don't know if Shaka was drunk or high or both, but it was evident that she was on some type of substance.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Stephanie Mills was being a great sport, like stepping in and singing Shaka songs because she was singing it like a little slow, like she was singing over the track, but she was like a half a bar behind. It was weird. Shaka Khan was definitely on one that night. So anyway,
I'm glad you said that. Speaking of on one, the U.S. Justice system is on one. Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges. The verdict came down the middle of last week.
Yeah,
I want to say it was the 18th or 17th,
somewhere up in there. I don't know the specific.
If anybody's been kind of living under a rock, and if you have to excuse us for some of this commentary, because we're kind of catching up on it as well.
Right.
But Kyle Rittenhouse gunned 2 men down, injuring another one during the protest of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin.
Yep.
So we know the semantics of the story, but you have an 18-year-old white child or white male, not even child.
Yep.
Off for 6 counts. Johnny, just react. What do you have for it?
I knew what time it was with this particular trial. When the judge's phone went off in the middle of proceedings and the song was "Proud to Be an American," I already knew what time it was. I saw the clip. I didn't watch any of this live because I already knew what type of time this whole thing was on. Yeah. But when I saw that clip, I was like, oh no, it's a wrap. I know this. And then I saw a picture of Kyle hand picking his jurors out of a little bingo thingy, just hand picking them. Something about the judge saying something about black people. It was the whole joint was just weird.
It was like no more black passes or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
What does that mean?
Well,
like that's
I'll say this, right?
crazy.
It's times like this where I kind of wish that I was a little bit more in tune with certain things, like those type of topics. I mean, like the trial and stuff like that, rather than just a quick knee-jerk reaction, right? Because in a sense, respectfully, that's what we're doing here. Yeah. But as a black male in America, some of this stuff is just like I'm good on. Like, and honestly, a lot of if we have any white listeners or viewers, just kind of going behind the the black people curtain here, we didn't care because he killed white people. Like, what I'm saying? Like, it was just the fact that he was able to do the things that he did, even have a level of sympathy, and not get one charge. Not one. Even if I was in that same, like, it's like we always try to put ourselves in those situations. Like, if that was me and I did this in self-defense, I'm getting some type of charge. Yeah. Like, even if it's like manslaughter, like I'm getting something. But
what's crazy is if one of us was in his position like that the day that it happened, we would not have even made it to the protest with a what he had, like an AR, a rifle or something. We wouldn't even made it that close to people with a rifle. Yeah. Which is nuts. Which from what I heard, somebody illegally purchased that rifle and gave it to him. And somehow that charge got through out. So they didn't even count toward the end goal here.
It's weird because
shit is annoying, man. It's really annoying to see this shit happen.
The white privilege,
like, it's crazy. It's because that's all it is. That's all it is. His moms drove him there. Like,
and the nuance of it all, right? It was a white on white crime by virtue of someone protesting or them being out there in the spirit of the Black Lives Matter movements because of what happened with a cop shooting a black man. That's why all this happened. But yet it kind of just a big, what to us that actually, black people. That's how this feels. Right. That's how it feels. It's not the case itself. Like, if you can prove that he was self-defending, I heard there's video proof and all that great stuff, but it still feels like this is a slap in the face.
Oh, 100%.
So, sometimes my logic is always overrun by emotion. That's why I don't really participate or really like look into these things, but I need to look at them just, for my viewpoints or whatever, right? Not for the show, just as a man, Right. You need to know what's going on in the world.
But man, it's just unfortunate. And with the jury system, judicial system failing the way it did again. It just in the media or just in outside space, it gives white people, it lets them know that they are okay to do this type of stuff, because rarely does anything happen to them in these cases. Rarely.
Yeah, and I've been in like a few spirited debates about this. It's the one side of the coin. Well, hey, that's white people and their problems, and then hey, look at what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that situation. So I've been kind of like in these spaces where I'm hearing people out where I really don't want to hear them, and I'm talking about these are people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? Not white people. I'm talking about people that look like us, that live in the same neighborhoods. They feel like a cow was innocent. Like, and these are the conversations that I'm having. So I'm trying to get to a point where I can hear the other side of the coin and not be.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not be
mentally, maturely. I ain't there yet. Like,
and that's respect, because you know that about yourself.
Yeah, because
it's a work in progress to get to that and hear what you think is bullshit. Like what you think is,
because the facts are there. The facts were laid out. We know the facts as the viewing public. Like some of us saw it happen in real time. So it's like we know what he did was wrong, how he went about it was wrong. Everything about this entire situation was wrong. 2 people lost their lives. Should not have happened, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how an individual can stand there and defend Kyle Rittenhouse as if he's innocent here. I don't get it. And again, I'm not mentally there to try to understand that person's psyche and trying to explain it to me.
Oh yeah, I was slightly inebriated, so that helped.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Condolences to his victims and their families.
Yes.
Speaking of, we have another tragedy, man. This one specifically in the hip hop community. Rest in peace to Young Dolph, Adolph Thornton Jr. Died at the age of 36. Some of you know him, well, definitely would say Young Dolph, but he's from Memphis, Tennessee. He's grown to become somewhat of a superstar in rap. I don't know if everyone was very familiar with his music, but he does have hits. So we're not, we're being respectful, just going through it. But Dolph has hits. He made a lane for himself. He was very charitable. He was a philanthropist.
Yep.
A father, a husband, a son, an uncle, whatever.
You're right.
He has all those superlatives and more. But Johnnie, what is your thoughts on this?
I will be one of those people to say I am not as familiar with his catalog, like that deep into his catalog as other people might be. I know a lot of people, especially while we were in college, were like super Young Dolph fans. So that I understand, but I was never that deep into his music. But nonetheless, like this entire situation is insane. From what I've seen, he frequented that cookie shop anytime he was back in Memphis. Gets those cookies, take them to his mom's. He does and this is just from reports that I've seen, he does like turkey giveaways and stuff. And he was actually scheduled to do one that day, which is even more insane that this happened. But I don't know. My brain is warped here. It's like, how does one navigate being successful in their own city? Because it's weird. It's crazy.
It's weird because, like you said, how does one navigate being successful in their own city? He's from Memphis. He screamed Memphis on every song. He traveled abroad. He came back. He did things in Memphis, which is very, very important. Like you said, like he patronized the cookie shop in the neighborhood of South Memphis. Most people don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And even posted it on Instagram, hey, this is where I come to give the cookie shop promotion. Y'all come check this out type thing. Yeah. So it's like that.
Yeah. It's a lot that goes into it, right? Young Dolph is definitely a street brand rapper. Not to say that this was warranted or this was coming, you know what I'm saying? But he was very involved in street street stuff, street politics, from my understanding.
Yeah.
This isn't the first attempt on his life.
Right.
It's not the second, actually. It's been going on for a while. Because I don't know if you were familiar with what happened to him in Charlotte. And then he came out with the song 100 Shots. They tried to shoot at,
like his tour bus or something.
It was a
Was
it tour bus or was it a Suburban? It was one of them.
Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else then.
Yeah,
which is
but
crazy.
that, and then out in LA, somebody tried to shoot at him out there. Somebody that was like associated with Yo Gotti, which is another layer to this. It's sad because Memphis has a stronghold in hip hop right now.
Yep.
I think since the days of 8 Ball and MJG, the days of 3 6 Mafia, and now we fast forward to the Dolph, the Black Youngsters, the Moneybagg Yo's,
Yep.
all those guys. They have a stronghold in hip hop where people don't really respect them for lyricists, but they have songs, like they have hits, and they keep making hits, and they're honestly some of the most streamed artists.
Oh yeah,
some of them, right? So you would think that as a Memphis collective, they wouldn't beef with each other because there's a lot of infighting. And Yo Gotti's at the center of it, from what we know. Now, Yo Gotti and Dolph have beef, or had beef, because Dolph's not here anymore. So if Gotti allegedly had something to do with what happened to him in LA, and now this happens in Memphis, like, do people look at Gotti, funny?
It's a possibility.
Like, we know they got issues. We know they got static, and you did something to try to get at him before.
How long ago was the LA thing? Do you remember?
I can't put a timestamp on that, but it was definitely some years ago.
Like more than 2 or 3, I assume.
Somewhere between 2 and 3 years.
Okay.
You were potting, so.
Okay, got you. So in those 2 or 3 years since the last incident, I assume nothing between them has no peace and none of that.
Oh no peace stuff. No, nothing.
Okay. I mean, yes, there should be. I imagine there should be eyes on Gotti because they've had ongoing beef, and something has happened to Dolph. An attempt on Dolph has happened before. So yes, eyes are on Gotti. I'm not blaming Gotti. I don't know, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if people start pointing fingers at him.
Yeah, because it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I don't even want to get.
It's a lot. It's a lot of layers.
It's a lot of layers too. But let me ask you this, right? Before we kind of get away from the Gotti aspect of this, Gotti has an album coming out soon. Gotti has placed himself in like a kind of like a good rare air that a lot of rappers like him don't necessarily get a chance to get to, because a lot, like, it's one thing for Jay-Z to do what he does, and because I think the more mainstream you are, the easier it is to access. So that's what I'm saying, like, gotcha. Jay-Z, right? Okay. But Yo Gotti he has mainstream success, but he doesn't have that success, right?
Okay.
So Yo Gotti's like a part owner of a soccer team, and he's making moves, and he's a label head. So you think that he would distance himself from that.
Facts.
So that's why I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt on all this. Okay. But yet he has an album coming out.
Dolph.
No, not Dolph.
Gotti. Okay, Gotti has. Okay, got you.
Little album coming out. Cool, right? No crazy big single. I really haven't heard any promotion about it, but the album is coming, right? Does Gotti push his album back? Because the reason I asked that, because Boosie said, out of respect for Dolph, his project, and the people that like, these people inhabited the same spaces. So Boosie said, I'm pushing my album back out of respect for Dolph.
Right. Yeah, I even seen Currency. The day that it happened, I think Currency was about to drop a single or something, and he was tweeting like, "What do I do? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful to in his memory." So yes, I've seen that type of thing. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would think it would be wise for Gotti to push his album back,
because the thing is, if these songs have already been recorded, right? So if there's subliminals about Dolph in there, like, I'm pretty sure he's not going to say his name, but there's going to be some subliminals. Yeah.
And that would be super nasty.
Yeah. Right, it's kind of like, who shot you in a way? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, who knows? Like, who knows if I'm just using that as an example. So I don't know, man. It's just sad because these are all successful black men.
Yeah.
But I think that once a beef starts and street stuff is involved, it never really leaves you just because you're famous and you have money.
Right.
And it's been clear over and over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nipsey stuff, that was some street stuff, right? And it doesn't leave you just because you're Nipsey Hussle.
Right. Right.
Which is unfortunate, which is very unfortunate. So I don't think we have to be super big fans of Dolph to have sympathy for the situation
definitely.
at all. And I just want to say, rest in peace to him.
Mm-hmm.
Condolences to his family. I believe he was married, so to his wife, his children, his mother. I don't know if his father's, still alive, but that's a lot. That's a lot on the family.
Definitely.
That is a lot, and that's a lot on the city of Memphis because regardless of whatever the street politics was,
mm-hmm.
the regular people, like, they love him.
Right.
They
exactly.
loved him.
Exactly. And it's honestly the sheer way that he went out to, like, doing something so wholesome as going to get cookies for his mom's, right? Like, that, I mean, for me, that plays a part into it too. Like, why it's just crazy, man. So again, condolences to his family, man. Yeah. And from what I have heard, Young Dolph does own like the masters to all of his music, things like that. So definitely buy his music, stream his music, all that good stuff. So because all of that goes directly to his family. So yeah, man. That's definitely a way to support.
Yeah. So speaking of a beef that, not a beef, right? Mm-hmm. We got one that was actually squashed, and I'm not sure how big, this is actually going to be. We need something a little lighthearted now, right?
Yeah.
The artist formerly known as Kanye, Ye, and Aubrey Drake Graham have squashed their long-standing beef, with J Prince being the mediator. Johnnie!
Yeah. We kind of the react part is funny, but we kind of touched on this last week.
Yeah.
But man, listen,
you really got nothing.
I really don't. But this is the thing. But this is the thing. The question that you asked last week kind of stuck with me. Like, this isn't real street shit. So why is J Prince like that? That honestly, that question has stuck with me for this entire
because
week.
It's kind of like, well, J Prince, lend your street expertise to the street rappers that need the mediation. Kanye and Drake are neighbors and Calabasas. Nobody's shooting anybody. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's doing anything. That's not beef on that level.
They live in the hills where you gotta hide the hills. That's what Drake said. They gotta hide from being hidden.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
they live in Wakanda. It's like hidden in plain sight, for real.
Fam, they probably really got a real cloak shit over their house. She's crazy. So yeah, again, I don't understand why J Prince is getting in the middle of this.
He squashed other stuff, but this is the one. Like, okay,
this right here.
Like, okay, honestly, I'm good. I'm good on seeing black men reconcile and do their thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's great to see. I'm not really sure where this squashing of the beef leads anything. Like, it's going to lead to a collaboration or album from them too. Like, I'm not really sure.
Doing the joint concert for Larry Hoover, right?
Yeah,
I think that's
that. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's a huge thing. So I'm not gonna shy away from that. Larry Hoover's been in jail for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's cool that they're collaborating on that. But it's like, what's the real end game of this? Like, I know Adonis and Kanye's kids are not gonna play together. Like, I know that's not happening. I'm just saying, are we getting a collaboration, a collaborative effort as far as music goes from them too? Because honestly, if artists these two, like artists of this magnitude, don't get together and do music, what's the purpose?
What's the purpose of even being in a picture together?
Yeah,
like, why are we doing this?
Like, I mean, no, it's cool that they were able to put aside whatever differences those were. Like, I'm serious, like whatever differences those were. But if it's not gonna lead to some music,
then what we doing? Do you think? Okay, first of all, do you want a collaboration between Drake and Kanye? Drake and Ye.
I can stand for one. I don't know if I would. This is the thing, and I think we talked about this, just in general,
Mhm.
about collaborative albums coming too late.
Yeah. Oh
Now,
yeah. This is one that would be
definitely too late.
hella late.
Like this would like I'm no, absolutely not. Like so.
No, thank you. I'm good now. If it happens, clearly I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
But
I'm
good. I'm okay. I'm okay with this. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Let's keep these jokes rolling, right?
Mm-hmm. Do it. Say it.
Hey man.
Because
No. We get killed for versus talk. So let's get back to the shits, right? Will Smith has said, hold on. Will Smith said he would be open to doing the verses with, guess what? LL Cool J. Johnny. Your thoughts? No, I'm not going first this time. I got killed. I got killed last time. I'm not going first.
I think the obvious thing here is to say that Will Smith will get smacked around. 19-1, I think a lot of people would say. I feel like a lot of people would say that. But
what's the one song?
When you
I just want to know.
Oh, I don't know actually. Summertime. It gotta be summertime. Okay. It gotta be summertime, right?
That's undeniable.
But the undeniable matchup here, Miami versus Headsprung.
I'm still going Headsprung.
I might go Miami.
Come on. They call me Big Ellie.
Nobody ever called him that. Nobody ever called him that. He knows that.
The room will explode.
That is like a stadium zone.
But
it's so many jokes. I don't know where to start here.
Like, if I get into this bag, we get called a millennial, we get called all kind of stuff. But okay, I'm gonna be serious.
All right.
This is my serious take.
Got you.
Will Smith was a very talented rapper.
Yes.
Will Smith, Fresh Prince has hits, but in no way is he fucking with cool like James Todd Smith. No way. You better start moving movie clips into that bitch. I'm telling you, Fresh Prince clips like from the show, like because Fresh Prince is better than In the House. Yeah. But we ain't talking about 20 songs.
In the House.
But no, this is my take. Like Will Smith was a very talented rapper, very popular rapper, right? But I don't think he was ever considered the best rapper, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like LL Cool J music still stands up. Like even though his heyday was the late 80s, 90s, and then he went to the 2000s, he still got hits. LL Cool J is considered the GOAT. Like, even though I say Jay-Z is my GOAT, but I can definitely get up there with somebody saying like LL is one of them dudes, and was always one of them dudes. He put out an album called GOAT and nobody ever questioned it.
This is
because it's LL Cool J.
This is true.
Listen, man. It's only so many people that's in the air with LL Cool J, and unfortunately, Will Smith is not one of them. If we're talking about the music, if we're talking about the music, no, he's not there. I think if we're going to talk about LL doing the verses, that's probably who Busta need to see. Like now, that would be
okay. I could see that.
That would be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's a generational gap, generational gap. Shout out to T.I., but
like I was really trying to make an argument for Will Smith. Like once LL gets past, let's just say, doing the era, then maybe Will Smith. But as I'm thinking, it's like it's not true.
Because this is the thing, man. This is the thing. And LL's hits are better in every era.
It's not.
So when he was doing Switch,
I'm trying.
Love You Better.
I'm trying.
I'm saying when Will Smith did Switch, when that Love You Better era, baby smile.
And that beat was hard too. But I know. I'm really because and this go all the way back to like the first 10 or so episodes of OS, right? Yeah. Like I'm a Will Smith Fresh Prince music fan.
So this is hard.
Like it's
tough, actually.
It pains me. It pains me to say.
Hey man, Will don't care about life no more because it's personal life. Because clearly, you want to run to the smoke. Like you get you get your boot smoked at home, bro. You ain't got to do this. You don't have to do this. Will
Smith has been dragged by his relationship in every aspect in public over the last few years. Yep. So I imagine nothing faces him anymore. Literally nothing. The man himself even came out and said he was jealous of Tupac.
I'm not putting out a number on this, but I'm just saying that it'll be a very long night for Will Smith. That's all I'm saying.
And the only way I say it won't be is if they actually like go perform. Now, if they performing, I think it becomes a little closer. But if we just talking, if we only talking song for song, hit for hit, then I know, man.
It's a shame that Wild Wild West won't get a point.
The Wild, yeah. I love that song. You jiggy with it? Men in Black?
Nothing. Right. None of them work.
Just the two of us?
No. Okay. That might work.
There might be a point depending on where LL plays.
Depending on where it's played.
Summertime is a point, man.
Summertime.
Parents just don't understand. Might be a point.
Yeah, but everything else.
Look, I'm looking at the Will Smith Essentials playlist on Apple Music, and I'm just Switch. He was not playing with Switch. I say just the two of us. Anyway, all right, man.
Man, speaking of Switch, right? Facebook changes its name from Facebook to Meta. After what, 16, 17 years?
Yeah. It's Facebook now for a minute.
Yeah. Johnny, what is your thoughts on Facebook, the world's leading social media platform, going through a name change?
Honestly, I think it's really interesting, and it's preparing us for the future of what social networking is going to be. Mm-hmm. So first of all, Facebook Incorporated, which is like the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and all that stuff, they changed their name. So Facebook as the parent company is now Meta. Facebook itself name isn't going to, the app isn't going to change. Instagram, the name isn't going to change and stuff like that. So I think this is very telling for the future. You ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
No, I've heard of it though.
Very, very good, very, very, very great movie. But I feel like we're moving into that territory where the virtual reality, augmented reality is the next step in social networking, and Meta is now going to be the leading company in that. So with that, Meta is trying to get these virtual spaces. So not, how you go into Facebook on your app, and then you see people what they post and pictures and videos and shit like that. With what Facebook is trying to do, from my understanding, is you get a virtual reality headset, and then that you actually go into a virtual world where you go and talk to people and meet people instead of actually going into an app and do it. They've already teamed up with Microsoft to bring virtual spaces to Microsoft Teams. So like the way people have meetings and stuff like that in the future, like it'll be your avatar's meeting instead of you actually meeting, at like in person. So I feel like that's where social networking is moving to, and things with like NFTs and cryptocurrencies. I feel like all of that somehow is going to be integrated in the future. So like we're in the very early stages of this, just like when Bitcoin came out, how many ever years ago, people was like, what is this type shit? Yeah. I feel like we're in that type of space again. Okay. So people aren't really paying attention now.
It's a changing of the guard.
Basically.
Things are switching up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just listening to you explain it, and I'm just trying to follow. And it's a lot to process because we're so used to our normal. And now we're getting to a space where technology is going to take a leap. Yes. And this name change is just an indicator of said change. It is what it is. Like, I don't know.
And I think that's a lot of people's reaction when it comes to this. But I want our community to just do the slightest. You say what?
The element.
I'm do it right now. Facts. Now too, yeah. Do the slightest of research, because I want us to be able to jump into this type of space before it gets monopolized by white businesses.
Well, not even that, right? I think you want to jump into this space so you're not washed in the current, right? Because before you know it, it's changed, and it's not even just like, yeah, money does play important. You don't want it to be monopolized, and then you just paying all your money out. You weren't able to jump on this train, but it's sometimes when the current of society changes, you can be swept away through that, and you don't want to be there because it's like we've been so technologically dependent for
so long,
and it's gotten to a point where we're glued to phones, we're glued to the internet, we're glued to these things. So now it's going to take a leap past that. So it's just, maybe we should just kind of embrace it. Maybe don't run from it. Embrace it.
Yeah, I would say embrace it. And I'm currently only looking at it from how can we profit? How can we monetize this type of thing? Because I feel like those, I guess our non-melanated counterparts are probably already in the process of trying to figure out how they can use this to their advantage.
Yeah.
So you and I with the podcast, I want us to start looking at how can we use these new spaces to our advantages. Boutique owners, artists, figure out how to make NFTs, because I feel like they're going to be at some point there are going to be virtual art galleries where these avatars can go into our avatar can walk into a digital art space and view art just like we go into a museum and view different art. The Louvre in Paris. People travel there all the time. People can't get to Paris. So what if we have a digital version of that we can actually make our avatars go into and we can view this type of art? Even Nike, like a month ago, they just got a patent for the digital versions of their product. So like all the digital versions of J's and shit like that. I feel like at some point they're going to start making these NFTs where your avatar can have the only pair of Jordan 1s that look a certain way. Like, I feel like that's the type of space we're moving in when it comes to this virtual reality stuff. And I know it seems like a lot, but
it's a lot and it's exhausting. But one thing we wanted to, I'm glad Johnnie went on that, that diatribe there. But it's just like when we get to a point where we just have to start paying attention to these things, we want to be at the forefront of it. So, like we said, we're not swept away.
Yeah, and when we get to the point where we have to start paying attention, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late.
And that was my point. Yeah.
So I at least want to get this out. So people can actually start thinking about it. Well, all right, if that's gonna happen, what can we do to make it benefit us?
Yeah, we might need to get on the NFT joint.
That's what we already here, bro. I got you.
Okay,
we'll talk off.
We'll talk more.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. I think we're getting towards the end of our docket. But you know what? We always have a blurred topic. It's always a blurred headline. It's always something, right?
Yes, sir.
Sony Marvel dropped a bombshell on us last week. A bombshell in the midst of all the BS, right?
Oh my God.
Spider-Man Far From Home, the second and final trailer, has been released. Johnnie, your thoughts?
Is it wild to say a trailer to a movie is a masterpiece?
Yeah.
Is that wild? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because think about it like this. We've been through this before, Spider-Man, like Civil War, Infinity War, those type of movies. Remember that? Like
I do. No, I do. No, I remember. Facts. I remember the Civil War trailer when Spider-Man was first announced. Yeah, I remember that. Crazy. But I was already excited for this movie, and it's just made me even more excited. The fact that the villains from the other Spider-Man movies are confirmed to be here. Electro looked dope going back to his original costume.
Better.
Oh no, facts, 100%. I figured that would happen. Listen, man, I was already excited. I'm even more excited now. I'm happy.
The trailer is dope. There's a lot of callbacks to the Amazing Spider-Man and the original Spider-Man film. So you see it in the trailer. If you even watch those movies, you ain't got to say fans, but if you watch them, you see the callbacks, right? Not outside of the obvious villain choices. So I think it's dope. I see what they're doing is very, very ambitious.
Yeah, man.
Very ambitious, but we got to get into these little, Easter eggs and stuff like that. What did you kind of notice about the trailer?
The biggest thing that I noticed was the same type of scene where Zendaya's MJ is falling and Peter and her Spider-Man is about to catch her.
Mhm.
That's a callback to the Amazing Spider-Man where Gwen Stacy actually died.
Mhm.
He caught her too late.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping, well, I don't know what I'm hoping here, but just seeing that, because that scene where Gwen Stacy died in Amazing Spider-Man, to me,
Mhm.
was dope, because up until that point, Spider-Man always saved the day and he
Yeah.
wasn't able to save her then. So that was, to me, seeing that was like, it was a departure from what we were used to, and it was kind of refreshing to see in the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even with the MCU's Peter Parker, with him trying to, what looks like going through that same type of situation, it's like, okay, he really ain't this happy-go-lucky kid no more, because he done been through trauma already, and now he's about to go through some super wild shit with the multiverse.
Yeah.
I am super excited.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
No. This is all. You ever looked at something and thought that it was going to be it's too ambitious, right?
Mhm.
I hope that this works.
Okay.
I hope, like, that's all I'm saying. I hope that this works, because this is a lot. This is a lot, man. Like, I know we've seen multiple crossovers of Avengers and things like that, but when you're playing with multiple versions of a character, I hope it's just done right. You know what I'm saying? Because the anticipation of it all seems great.
Yeah.
But when it's not executed well, we get Endgame. It's not executed well, we get, I'm serious.
No, you're right.
Because Endgame was a very ambitious film.
It was. And off the first watch of Endgame,
Mhm.
I thought this was like the greatest movie of all time.
Mhm.
But watching it that second time is when you start to notice, oh no, this is actually not really good and kind of boring if you think about it. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which I already plan to see Spider-Man at least twice.
Okay.
I already
and you know me, I'm not knocking.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking,
right,
I'm not,
right.
If I was knocking, I'll just come out and say it.
Now,
Trust me,
and
you know I would.
the whole too ambitious thing I do get,
Mhm.
because again, playing with different universes here,
Yeah.
and I think it hasn't been confirmed, but I'm pretty sure we know that the other Spider-Man will be in this movie.
Hey man, look, and this is kind of getting to that too, right? We're bringing back older characters of this, so it's kind of like we're acknowledging failures of films in a sense.
You think so?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
so.
I don't think so. But
people kill those amazing Spider-Man films.
No, I'm one of them.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of them. But I don't think I don't think that version of Spider-Man being in this movie is acknowledging the failure that was.
Because it's like we're redoing Electro. Why you just can't bring him back the same way? Because the only thing Doc Ock is like he has a slight upgrade, but he's not different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're changing what you think was already bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Or what people complained about.
I get it.
It's
but
like it's your chance to fix it.
Or you know what it could be?
Mm-hmm.
It could be that's the same version of that type of villain, but from a different universe. So maybe not even particularly from the Amazing Spider-Man movie universe. Maybe that's the same.
It's Electro, and you got him. Maybe I don't know. Some point
Earth 37 instead of Earth 2 or some shit like that. Like,
oh, wow,
yeah,
we're going here.
Okay,
no.
I'm just saying maybe that's what it could be.
Okay, but no, this film. I mean, the trailer looks great, and I'm gonna go in there happy to watch this. Like, I'm not going there looking for a flaw. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. But I'm not going in there with my Black Widow. I went in there waiting for Black Widow to fuck up. I ain't gonna lie.
That's hella funny.
But I think this film will be great. I think this film will be really good. I think it's not necessarily what they do with this film. I think moving forward, what does it do?
Got you.
How crazy are you gonna make this?
And you know what? Even though we're getting all of these characters from other universes, right?
Yeah.
I don't anticipate them being in the movie like the entire time. So it's like with the whole ambition thing, maybe they have one final battle where it's all of them, but we're only going to get bits and pieces of each throughout the movie. I feel like.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
because even that's the same way with Civil War for real.
Yeah, well, clearly in the trailer, right? Doc Ock recognizes that you're not Peter Parker. Like, so you're not his Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So clearly, Tobey Maguire is going to be somewhere in this film.
And what's crazy is during that same trailer, it seems as if later on or at some point in the movie, Doc Ock is going to be working with the MCU Peter Parker.
It's clear because at that point, like, maybe on the bridge he thought he was fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? And then he realized he was. Doc Ock probably is going to help with whatever they got going. And then you have to think about it like this, right? This where the YouTube rabbit hole comes into play, right?
Mm-hmm.
There have been alternate scenes of the film where, remember that big screen where you see Spider-Man flying toward the 3 villains?
Yeah.
That's a big, like, it's like, oh, 2 more people could be right.
See,
and
mm-hmm.
it's a clip where the lizard kind of goes like this,
like he get punched. Yep.
I was like,
yeah, it's blatant.
It's blatant. They did that.
I'm going to assume that that's going to be like the final boss battle.
Yeah, you can tell.
But then again, Marvel has a way of
and then
putting shit in the trailer that's not in the movie.
Yeah, and it's mostly Sony, so I don't know. Can we trust Sony? Can we trust? Because the Spider-Man films, even though, I guess this is a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
The Spider-Man films, for all intents and purposes, have actually been pretty good.
Oh, I agree.
All of them. There's, what's the worst one? Homecoming? And that's not even a bad thing to say. Or would you say the second was?
Far From Home? I love Far From Home.
Okay.
So I think Homecoming was worse than Far From Home, but Homecoming was still good. Yeah.
Because at this point, they're not origin films. His origin was technically Civil War in a sense, right?
Exactly.
So we never got an origin film for him, but we got off of that. We went somewhere else with it. But
I'm excited.
This is going to be. I think it's still going to be a good film. December 17th. I think that's the day that it comes out.
Yep.
I'll be somewhere seeing it. Maybe not that day, but definitely somewhere.
Yeah, I'll go on the 18th at like noon or some shit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So excited for it. But I think we got to the end of the docket.
Yep, we are here.
We're if you're on YouTube, we appreciate you guys for sticking through this with us. Please like, rate, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get more updates. Again, shout out to everybody that commented on the
they're not here.
They're not here. All right, they're not here. No. So if you're still listening on audio, it's time to get to OS Song of the Week.
See you next week, YouTube.
See y'all next week. You want to take it? You want me to go?
All
right, cool. Ralph gonna take it first.
I talked all that stuff about Snoop Dogg and 213, but I got 213 songs.